In order for me to be offended by someone, I have to respect their opinion.
Hello everyone, I'm Joseph Dinesh, a Catholic commentator from Sydney, Australia. In today's video, we will be dwelling into Father Mike Schmidt's response to the mockery of Christians during the opening ceremony of the Paris Olympics. With the initial emotions now settled, it's the perfect moment to reflect on this incident with a clearer, more thoughtful perspective. Father Mike emphasized 3 key points in his video. First, he said, given the French history, I am not surprised. Second, he said, I do not respect their art, so I am not offended. Third, he said, God was mocked and I am not the victim. These insights are deeply thought-provoking and different from what all the other Catholic commentators have been saying regarding this. So let's explore each one and draw meaningful lessons for our lives. In the first clip, Father Mike reflects on the profound and hostile impact of the French Revolution on the Catholic Church. The revolutionaries viewed the church as a symbol of the old order deeply intertwined with the monarchy and feudal privileges, making it a prime target for revolutionary reforms and persecution. This era witnessed widespread persecution of priests and nuns, with thousands of clergy imprisoned, deported, or executed. Religious orders were dissolved and many churches were closed or repurposed. Given this historical context, Father Mike suggests it's no surprise that such mockery took place in France. Let's hear his perspective.
Why am I surprised if France is French? Obviously, it's a whole country with a lot of diversity and whatnot in there. I'm talking about in the last couple hundred years, in the French Revolution, you had the French people rising up, not all of them, of course, and murdering priests and monks and nuns by the hundreds and possibly by the thousands. And then at the opening ceremonies, there's something that is, mocking the Last Supper. It's kind of like when, Hollywood makes a movie about something Catholic and they twist it. Or they, some celebrity says something about the Catholic Church and they get it all wrong. You're like, okay, I'm not surprised.
France, often called the eldest daughter of the church for its rich Catholic heritage and the many missionaries it once sent to spread the gospel worldwide, is now paradoxically spreading harmful ideologies across Europe, contributing to global disorder and suffering. Even more concerning is that with God no longer central in the lives of many French Catholics, they may never fully discern or embrace their true vocations. As a result, the divine purposes God has for the French people risk being lost, leading to a society where individuals merely exist, drifting like zombies in a self-centered, narcissistic world. The burning of Notre-Dame de Paris on April 15, 2019 was a tragic event that resonated deeply around the globe. But for the French, it was more than just a loss of a historical monument. It was a symbolic moment reflecting the decline of Christianity in the country. It's disheartening to see that a nation like France, which once proudly upheld the Christian faith, now has so few faithful believers remaining. Moving to the second clip, Father Mike explains why he wasn't offended by the mockery of the Last Supper during the Olympics. While he acknowledges the dignity of those involved, he does not respect the art itself, and thus he refrains from taking offense. Let's listen to this viewpoint.
In order for me to be offended by someone, I have to respect their opinion. I don't respect your art, so I'm not offended by your art. Hope we can make the distinction here. I will respect and honor the dignity of every person involved in that. Yes, you're one of the people that Jesus gave his life for. You're one of the people for whom the Father sent his Son into this world to save. Why? Because he loves you. I could say that about every single person involved in that whole thing, every single person who planned the whole thing, every person who executed the whole thing. That's all true. But they've already revealed themselves to be artists of a lower class with thoughts that are not oriented towards the true, the good, or the beautiful. And therefore, I'm not offended.
This brings us to an important question. What does it truly mean to be offended? Although I've often used the word offended in everyday conversation, I seldom pause to consider its true meaning. So let's define it. Being offended is experiencing a strong emotional reaction, often negative, in response to something perceived as insulting, disrespectful, or unjust. When someone feels offended, they may experience hurt, anger, or distress because they believe their values, beliefs, identity, or dignity have been attacked or disregarded. With this understanding, we can see that being offended typically depends on 2 key factors. First, whether the insult is directed at you personally, your family, or your beliefs. And second, who is delivering the insult, whether it's someone close to you, a friend, or a stranger. The most intense sense of offense usually arises when a personal insult comes from someone close to you, such as a parent telling a child, "You're good for nothing." On the other hand, the least intense offense typically occurs when a stranger insults your beliefs, like a politician claiming that Christianity is not a true religion. In the case of the mockery of Christians during the Olympics, it falls into the weakest category. It is a group of strangers mocking our Christian beliefs. Furthermore, Father Mike's stance of not respecting the opinion diminishes the significance of the offense even further. Finally, in the last clip, Father Mike touches on a vital point. Christians are not the victims of this mockery, God is. Let's listen to his thoughts on this.
And as I was praying that prayer of reparation, what happened was I realized, this isn't about me. This isn't about Christianity. This isn't about the Catholic Church. It's about the one I love, who made every one of us. And it goes vastly deeper than what you think or what I think. God is real. And he is not to be mocked. And you can pray that prayer too. I'm grateful for Matt Fradd to have posted that on Pints with Aquinas. Praying that prayer freed me of this massive error. And that massive error was thinking that what happened at the Olympics was about me. I'm not a victim. The Catholic Church, we're not victims. Christians aren't victims here. It was God himself who was mocked.
By framing it this way, Father Mike invites us to rise above our personal grievances and instead recognize the deeper spiritual implications of such mockery. This shift from personal offense to a reflection on how God is being disrespected can prompt us to respond with prayer, forgiveness, and a reaffirmation of our faith rather than with anger or a sense of victimhood. The most apt Bible verse which can help us understand how to deal with the mockery of God is Psalm chapter 2 verses 1-4. Why do the nations conspire and the peoples plot in vain? The kings of the earth rise up and the rulers band together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, Let us break their chains and throw off their shackles. The one enthroned in heaven laughs, the Lord scoffs at them. A good analogy to explain this is, imagine a vast garden where a group of ants plot to take control, believing they can break free from the gardener's authority. They imagine their rebellion as powerful, ready to overthrow the rules governing the garden. However, the gardener, much greater than they realize, watches this with quite amusement. He knows their efforts are insignificant and ultimately futile. The ants, despite their plans, cannot escape the gardener's control. Similarly, Psalms chapter 2 verses 1-4 shows that human rebellion against God is pointless, as his power far surpasses any earthly authority. In conclusion, I want to echo Father Mike Schmidt's response. As Christians, we shouldn't be surprised when the world disrespects us and our beliefs. Instead of taking offense or viewing ourselves as victims, we should recognize that it is God who is being mocked, and this should lead us to pray and stand firm against the advances of the evil one. I would like to close with a powerful Bible verse from Galatians chapter 6 verses 7. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked, for whatever a man sows, that he will reap. I hope this video was helpful. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. God bless you.